Hey, Arca, New Jersey. It's Matthew Locascio of In-Home Training by Matthew Locascio, inhometrainermatt.com. Here once again with you guys to give you another week's worth of great tips and exercises that you can do from the safety of your own home. By the way, you can see here I'm sitting on the ground. Don't get scared. No one called the authorities. It's okay. I'm here on purpose. I haven't fallen and I can't get up. I'm actually here to show you guys some great floor exercises that you can do at home. The great thing about being on the floor is you don't have to worry about falling down to it. You're already there. Exercises that normally take a lot of balance, put a lot of pressure on the joints. You can avoid that from doing them here on the floor. So I'm going to show you guys a few different positions. We're going to kind of do all the different angles here of floor exercises, and I'm going to give you guys a couple different ones from each side to play with here. Do on your own, and depending on your level of health and how your body feels, some of these may work great for you, some of them may not, but they're things you can try and then find out for yourself. And the great part, again, from being on the floor is if something doesn't feel right, just simply stop, take your time, and then get up and recover. All right, so the first one we're going to do here, we're going to lay on our back. By the way, you can see I'm wearing my Florida Gators hat today. Let's go Gators, Gator bait for any of you Florida fans out there. We're going to lay on our back and my Florida Gators hat, and my eyes are facing the ceiling. We're going to do what's called a glute raise. We're going to raise our hips up like so. And make sure here, if you guys can see, I'm trying to raise my hips up till my body's completely parallel. Now, if you can't get your hips up that high, that's okay. Just raise them to a level that feels comfortable for you. But when you raise them, make sure to tighten your butt, your glute muscles, which is your butt, and your abs right here. These are the two main things we need to make sure we're tightening as we raise our hips off the floor, and that's to protect our lower back. So we're raising the glute, we're raising the hips, we're raising our butt off the floor. If we can get those hips lined up and become even here, that's great. Again, if you can't, that's fine. Don't overextend yourself. There's no point in doing that. Like with any exercise, you'll get better at it. You'll get better range of motion as you go on. Again, just coming up, take a couple deep breaths, hold for a second, and then down. Let's do one more. Come up, raise those hips, tighten those abs, tighten that butt. Breathe, and then back down. Great job, guys. All right, next one we're going to do here. Great exercise. If you've seen the last weekly spot I did, we did knee raises using the chair. Here's a knee raise you can do from the floor. All you're going to do is bring one knee at a time in towards your chest. Now, the great part is from this angle on the floor, you're also going to get great lower ab work with this. So you're going to feel it in your lower abs as well as in your legs. May even feel it a little bit in the glutes, depending if you did any of the other exercises we've thrown your way, like squats, etc. But you want to, again, tighten in the glutes. You should feel it in the legs and the lower abdomen as you come in one at a time. Make sure you breathe. If you can, breathe out as you're bringing the knee in. And again, try to bring that knee as close to your chest as you can, but don't overextend. If you start feeling it too much in your lower back, that means you're going too far. And keep your back flat on the ground. Don't let yourself arch up to try and extend further. My other foot's maintaining on the ground while I raise the other leg up. And again, just one at a time. One at a time. Great. Excellent job, guys. And like always with these, we want to make sure we're doing them nice and slow. This isn't a race. We're not trying to act like we're pedaling in the Tour de France here. It's nice and slow, one at a time. Extension. The next one, same rules apply. Now we're just going to straighten the legs out, and we're going to raise one leg up. And you'll notice here, my leg's pretty straight. I'm keeping a slight bend in it. because I never like getting the knee totally straight. Then we put a lot of stress on the knee itself. So we keep a slight bend, but for the most part, it's straight up and we're raising one leg at a time. Nice and slow both ways. We want to go nice and slow on the way up and nice and slow on the way down. We don't want to just let that leg drop. Half the exercise is maintaining a nice slow pace on the way down. And again, breathe out as it's coming in. Breathe in on the way down. Nice deep breaths. Tighten those abs, because you should still feel this as well in your lower abdomen, as well as the hamstrings and possibly those glute muscles again. Nice and slow, guys, and go to where you feel comfortable. Otherwise, you're going to cause yourself some lower back pain. Good. We're going to do one more each side here. Nice. Great job, guys. Now we're going to go onto our sides here. So I'm going to slide this back a little so you can see me better for this next exercise. I'm going to lay facing you guys. This is just a simple hip exercise. And what we're going to do is we're going to keep the legs straight here. And we're just going to go up. And again, especially with a hip exercise, guys, just go to where you feel comfortable. You want to feel this all in here in the hips, from here right through to where about this Adidas logo is where you want to feel this. Nice deep breaths. Your upper body's just kind of maintaining a level balance on the ground. And we don't have to go crazy high here. And again, that nice slow pace, you should feel this big time right here in the hips. And now, if you want a little bit of a different feel, what you do is you bring the knees in a little bit like so, and then we do it this way. And what that does is it adds a little bit of a groin stretch into it as well. And we're working those groin muscles, which is important, especially when it gets cold. No one wants to pull a groin. You'll be limping all through the winter. Good. Again, with the knee bent, you should feel it a little more in here, but you're still, remember, going to feel it a lot in those hips. Either way with that exercise, whether you do it straight leg or whether you do it with the knees bent, it's still a lot of hip work, guys. All right, now we're going to go on to the other side here. And same thing. We're going to go straight leg. Hopefully you guys can see that at home. My oversized body here takes up too much of the screen. And we're going straight leg. And remember, just like the one laying on the back, even with the legs straight, the knees slightly bent, and I'm only going up. I'm not going crazy high. I'm not trying to do, some kung fu side kick here. Nice and slow both ways. And then again, bringing the knees in. And again, we get a little more of groin work there. Stretch and both working the muscles. And that's good right there. Again, maintain a nice slow. It's easy when you're doing exercises like this to stop being mindful of the pace you're going at and try and get them done with. And the minute you start rushing with an exercise like this, you're going to end up hurting something. So the most important part of these is the nice slow pace. And again, don't over exaggerate your range of motion. Just go to where you feel comfortable. All right, now guys, from this position here, facing the floor, right? It's gonna look like I'm about to take a push-up position, but don't worry, I'm not making you guys do any push-ups, all right? We're gonna do a couple different exercises here. The first one is we're gonna extend our right arm and our left leg. So we're gonna put right arm out, left leg out. Then we're switching, and now my left arm and my right leg are going out, and we're just gonna keep alternating. So whatever arm you're putting out, right now I'm putting out my left arm, that means my right leg's coming out. If I'm putting out my right arm, that means my left leg's coming out. And we're just alternating, and we wanna keep a nice, even balance here as we're doing this. We wanna make sure that our back isn't slouching too low or too high. We wanna stay basically parallel to the floor here. Good, and just extend back and with the leg and forward with the arm again to where you feel comfortable. Try and get a nice range of motion, but don't overextend yourself. If your core balance doesn't feel there yet, you don't want to topple over, you don't want to pull something or hurt something, just nice and slow to where you feel comfortable. Let's do one more here. Good. All right, last one we're gonna do, guys, is called Angry Cat, Lazy Dog. There's actually a ton of names for these exercises. I think every trainer ever has named this something different. I call it Angry Cat, Lazy Dog. What you're gonna do here is you're going to visualize pushing your belly button up towards the ceiling. So you see I'm hunching my back up here. Now what we're gonna do is drop that belly button towards the floor. And then we're gonna, again, suck that belly button in like we're trying to push it towards the ceiling, hunching that back up, and then dropping it and letting it, again, come down towards the floor. It's a nice stretch for your back. A great exercise to do at home, not only to work your ab and back muscles and give you a good core workout, but also a really nice stretch. Do one more here. Again, raising up, really tighten those abs and feel like you're bringing that belly button up, and then sink it down towards the floor. There you go, guys. Those are some great exercises that you can do at home from a floor position. You don't have to worry about, again, balance, things like that, because you're on the floor. In the future, I'm going to show you guys ones where we'll go through push-ups, things like that on the floor. But for today, these are some great floor exercises to start with. They're exercises I would recommend that everyone do on every level. So there's never not a good time to do exercises like these. Just, again, make sure you're being safe about it. And while it's always great to push yourself and create hard workouts for yourself, know your limits and don't try to overextend yourself if you're not ready yet. You'll do that naturally. Your body will do that naturally once you're ready. For in-home training, by Matthew Lacasio, inhometrainermatt.com. Thank you once again, Arca, New Jersey. We'll see you next week with some more great tips and advice. You can visit us on the web and ask me any questions about any of these videos or any other questions. Or if you're Arca, New Jersey, you can find all my contact information through the Arca, New Jersey, and I'm happy to answer any questions you guys have about these videos. Hope you all have a great night, and thanks for joining us again.